So Rose, just to make sure with you, we're gonna learn the bracelet that you show us, or we're gonna learn something different, like maybe with a different knot or.
We're just learning this one, but the instructions I've given you have links to other places where you can find lots of different styles of bracelets. So if you don't like this one, check those other links for other styles you can make.
Oh, all right, thank you.
So this website is Operation Gratitude. It's a charity that collects different items to give and care packages to active duty military, first responders, veterans, new recruits who are in training, that sort of thing. So these bracelets are really popular with people in the military and first responders. So you can choose, once you've made them, to donate them to Operation Gratitude and have them given to people in the military or first responders. I chose this project because next Wednesday is Veterans Day. So if you want to help veterans, you can donate these, or you can keep them for yourself. It's up to you. So so this website is just operationgratitude.com. You can, if you click on Get Involved, Virtual Volunteerism and Individuals, you can find this project. So now we're going down, and they've got videos for left-handed and right-handed. I'm going to be showing the right-handed video because I'm right-handed, and I'm going to be demonstrating it again afterward. But if you're left-handed, you can go back to the site and select the left-handed tutorial. So let's... And if you can't hear the video, let me know, and I'll see if I can get that fixed. So here we go.
I don't think we can hear anything.
Okay, let's see.
I think when you go to share a screen, you have to also share the audio.
Oh, okay. Well, then let me stop the share and then start it up again and see if I can do that. Ah, here it is, share computer sign. Thank you.
Not a problem.
All right, let's start over.
This video will explain how to make a quick release or quick deploy paracord bracelet for Operation Gratitude. First, you'll need paracord. If you're cutting your own cord, you need to cut it to 7.5 feet and make sure you seal the ends to prevent fraying. You can do this by using a lighter to heat the end until it begins to melt and then squeeze it with a pair of pliers to keep the inner strands from coming out. You'll also need a ruler, a quick deploy jig printed from operationgratitude.com, and a flat object for rolling out your bracelet. Let's begin by making the stop knot that will be the knot used to keep the bracelet on. Use your right hand to pick up the cord approximately 3 inches from the end. You can use your ruler to measure if you need to. Take the short end and twist it clockwise and place it in front of the longer end of the cord to create a loop. It'll kind of look like a memory ribbon at this point. The short tail should be about the length from your fingertip to the first crease in your knuckle. Now take the loop and transfer it into your left hand. Take the cord at the base of that loop and place it through the larger loop. With your right hand, grab onto the small loop that was just created, and then grab onto the tail with your left hand and gently pull these in opposite directions. The short tail should be about 1.5 to 2 inches long now, which is about the size of your fingertip to your second knuckle. Then take the short tail and insert it from the back of the loop towards the front and gently tighten the knot. After tightening your knot, make sure that the tail is still 1.5 to 2 inches long from the tip of your finger to about the second knuckle. On the left side of your paper jig, there are 2 black dots side by side with a gray circle to the left of those dots. Place the knot on the gray circle and hold it in place with your left hand. With your right hand, take the long string to the black dot located on the right side of the paper jig. Pinch the cord with your right index finger and thumb at this point. Then pick up the cord with your right hand and bring the long cord down to the knot. Now you can flip or transfer the cord to where the knot is in your right hand and take the long cord and turn it at the base of the knot. The loop should not go past the knot at this point. Your left hand should be holding the knot and the loop, and you use your right hand to hold the loop and the long cord. Place the long cord over the loop Then pinch it with your right index finger and thumb. Let go of the knot and loop with your left hand. Take your left hand and pinch the loop and long cord 1 inch away from the end where your right hand is. You'll need to wrap the long cord counterclockwise. As the long cord is facing you, it will be pulled down and around the back side of your bracelet. The first 4 wraps should be very tight. This will make sure that the bracelet does not slip off the end of your loop as you make it. Use the bottom 3 fingers on your right hand to create tension with the long end of the rope, while you twist the rest of the paracord to create the first 4 turns. If you lose the loop while you're making your bracelet, you'll have to start over. Now that the wraps are securely in place your left index finger on top of the wrapped cord and use your thumb and middle finger to hold the long cord in place, resting the bracelet between your 3 fingers. Use your ring finger and pinky to hold the loose ends out of your way while you're twisting. The end with the loop and the knot on it that's in your left hand should be guided with slight pressure to make sure that each turn is pulled tight and it's not loose. Use your right hand to turn the bracelet, kind of like a screwdriver. Begin to turn. Your hands will remain close to each other as you turn. Note that there's no pressure needed to turn your bracelet. You can use your left hand fingers to gently guide your bracelet and keep it in place, but no pressure is needed. Actually, if you're grabbing your bracelet tight, this will loosen the bracelet as you turn and it'll need to be adjusted in the end. Continue to twist your bracelet until you are just below the knot. Once you reach close to the top of the loop below the knot, you might have some extra cord. All you need to do to make this fit into your bracelet is hold the ends tightly to make sure that you can adjust the bracelet without losing your loop, and then you can start at 2 inches from the bottom of the bracelet where your 4 tight wraps were located and pull down on the wraps and keep moving up 2 inches at a time to pull these down. But make sure you hold on to the knot and the inner loop at the top so that they don't get pulled down in the rest of your bracelet. Continue to do this until you've reached the top and created extra space that you can then use to continue wrapping your bracelet. If you still have extra cord when you get back to the top of the loop again, repeat that step by pushing down the cord to ensure that all of the cord that you're working with fits into your bracelet. Once you reach the top of the loop and you only have about 1/2 of an inch of the cord left, you take that cord around the knot and insert the end of it through the back side of the loop. Gently pull the cord until it's just past the loop so that it stays in place. Now you can lock the end in place by pushing the top 3 wraps closest to that loop up. Gently pull the rest of the wraps up to fill in the bracelet and help even it out. The loop at the end will need to be big enough to fit over the knot. If your bracelet is lumpy, you can use your flat object or your hands to roll it out on a flat surface. Just lay it out on the table and use the object over it like you would to roll out Play-Doh, and it'll help even out the wraps and make your bracelet smooth. Finally, you take the tail of the bracelet and place it through the end loop, over the knot. The loop will rest on the cord between the knot and the locked end. Once it's in place, gently push the 4 tight wraps on the end near the loop towards the knot to close any gaps. And if needed, you can pull the rest of the bracelet into place to fill in any of the other gaps. Now your bracelet is complete.
Okay, so that's how to make the bracelet. So now I'm going to go over it again slower, starting with cutting the parachute cord. So if you want to make these for Operation Gratitude, they recommend neutral colors like greens, browns, military camo, dark dark red or blue, not something really bright. This is a color you want to use for yourself. So I'm going to use this olive green. So I'm going to start by unwrapping that. And now I'm going to tilt the camera down to the desk so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. So I'm going to measure out 7.5 feet. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a half. So then I'll cut that there. And now, as you can see, that's going to try to unravel right away. I can't see it too well from that angle. There, like this one, it'll unravel if you don't do anything with it. So I'm going to try to do what they said and melt the ends. I have tried using white glue to secure the ends, but it's kind of rough and uneven looking. And I'm not sure how strong it is. So I will try melting it. Match one out. Okay. Now that looks like it'll stay strong. So I'm going to let that cool slightly. And while that's cooling, so we will need this jig. So each one of these should come in the kit, or you can print them out from the Operation Gratitude website as well. Okay. So this is the end that came pre-melted. This is the one I melted. They both look good and strong, and this is cooled now. Okay. So now we're going to start with that knot. So it's take 3 inches, loop it over like that. Take this loop, tuck it in there, and then tighten it. Kind of hard to do this at a good angle. All right, so now we've got kind of a slip knot. Now we'll take the tail, tuck it in the slip knot, and pull it tight. So now we've got that knot. So now, as the instructions said, we've got this jig. We take the knot, and it goes over this gray dot here. And then we measure out until it's got this first bend in it. And to the second bend. And then to the end here. So it's all the same length. There we've got. So it's got a core of 3 different strands on top of each other. All right. Now we're going to start wrapping. Leave a little loop there. Do the first wrap. There. And we're doing the first 4 wraps very tight. So it stays in place. Like that. Now spinning it. You can see just by holding it lightly and twisting it, it starts wrapping itself up. Twisting takes a little time. Okay, so I'm at the top, but I've still got more than a foot here. So as the instructions said, I'm going to start at the bottom, slide it towards that tight loop. Just keep going a few inches at a time, sliding them nice and tight so I have more room to wrap. Currently, I wrap fairly loose because I have to keep tightening.
So, Rose, we have
Yep.
a question from Julie. If
Yep.
you can repeat the beginning slowly.
All right, I'm almost done with this, so
Yeah.
I'm going to finish this off first.
Okay, so Julie just came up on there and we're going to repeat the stuff.
All right. So now that you're down to just about ½ inch left, you've got there, that little loop there. So we're going to take the end, the cord, slip it into that loop, and then slide these up to tighten that loop. So now it's kind of locked in place. And the suggestion said you could, or the video said you could take a flat object to roll it out to try to smooth it, because you can see this is all kind of bumpy. So for a flat object, I've got a tape dispenser. So I'm just going to try rolling that to smooth it out a bit. There, that's a bit smoother. And now to finish it off, you've got this loop at the end. How do we add the clip? So this design doesn't use the clip, but if you look at the instructions there's other websites that I link to in the instructions that have other directions that could use the clips. So this one is meant to be really easy. So I'm tucking the end of this into that loop to lock it in place. There it is. So to show you how easy this is to take apart and why this is really good for people who need it in an emergency, I'm going to take it apart. So start where I put that loop in the end there. Just unslip it. And then just unravel the whole thing that I just spent so long unraveling. There it is. Gone for a bracelet to an emergency rope very easily. All right. So now I'm undoing the knot so I can start over from that. And I can see it's kind of a bad angle and it's kind of blurry. So I'm going to tilt it up so we can see doing the knot from here. So to start off, I've got 3 inches using the little ruler on the jig. Now we're going to take that and make a loop. As the instructions said, it's like a little little memory ribbon looped over itself like that. And then I take, kind of doing this, trying to do this backwards so you can see it. So we take a loop, slide it. So we've got a short tail and a long tail. I'm taking a loop from the long tail, slipping it inside that loop. I know it's kind of blurry. We've got a loop inside a loop. Now I pull on the short tail to tighten it. Kind of alternating between the new loop and the short tail until it's nice and tight, like that. And I take the short tail and tuck it inside that big loop I've got. And then I can pull the long tail, alternate between the long tail and the short tail, and add till I have a nice tight knot. Everyone there so far?
How you doing, Julie? And we also have another question from Kate.
Yep.
She's saying if you can show us how to add a clip on the.
I answered that. This design does not use a clip.
Okay.
But if you look in the instructions, I've got some links on books you can use in our through Hoopla through the library, or some websites with different links that have all different instructions, many of which will use the clips.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna use a clip. So.
Okay.
And I don't know if I can share my video anymore.
And this is why these bundles are 10 feet of parachute cord. And that's why I didn't choose to cut them into 7.5 foot lengths so that you can use them for different projects that might use more than the design I'm making now. So Julie, are you okay with the knot or do you need more help with that? Can't do it? Would you like me to go over it again? Or you can also watch the video, like on Operation Gratitude. Just keep going over it and watching how they do it. Okay, you want to do that? Does anyone else have any questions about how to make this?
Looks like we don't have any.
Okay. Well, so that's the instructions for that. I can show you, I can share my screen again, go to one of the other websites that I've linked on here so you can see what some of the other designs are. Does that sound good to everyone?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So I'm going to share my screen. So let's type in. So here's one website with a whole bunch of different projects. It gives you tips on how to choose how much you need. So this is a very basic design that is popular with a lot of people. And this one does use the clip. It tells you how much you're going to need. So this one needs 2 colors. And this is a similar one, which should be quick deploy, so easier to take apart.
Oh, wow. I love that one. Oh, I
Yeah.
like the other one.
Yep. Many different designs. So this one uses 3 different colors. And this is similar to the first one, the Cobra, except it's a keychain, so it's instead of a bracelet.
Rose, would you mind to copy and paste the link on the chat?
Sure, I can do that.
Thank you.
Let's see if I can figure out how to get to chat. Okay. All right, I think I have to stop sharing for a sec so I can post that. All right, there's one. And then let me look up the other one that I've gotten here. There we go. So those are the 2 different links I have on the instructions. All right. There are many different styles on there. Would you like me to browse through more, or is everyone fine since we have the link there?
Maybe since we have few minutes, we can maybe put one of the videos and
Sure.
let it play since.
Sure. Let's try that. So I'm going to share my screen again. So how about this Cobra, the very popular design? When people think paracord bracelets, that's usually the first one they think. Shall we do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now this one's 19 minutes long. We got time, just enough. And then you just keep alternating which side you start the knot from. was. So, any more questions?
No, I don't think so. I think everybody left except for Julie.
Okay.
She's still with us.
All right.
Thank you,
Well-
everyone, for coming.